What's up, guys? So this is gonna be an overview of my event day. Everything's still pretty light. I do 4 events. Competition has 5. I'm doing 4 of those events on my event day, and then the 5th event is just max deadlift. So that just gets trained during deadlift day. All right, so I usually start off with pressing, have an axle press in this competition. Tomorrow I'm gonna do a video just reviewing the competition events and the weights and just sort of how I feel about them. So I'm going to try to separate a little bit of that from this. It's going to be tough, but it is what it is. Axle press, just doing 165, doing a slow build up, working on the volume and just getting back into using axle. I think I've been training log leading up to this. So just getting back into the groove of doing axle press and getting into the cleans, getting used to doing the clean again. It's really light. 165 is very light, so not too bad. But high rep axle press is rough. It's way more of a cardio event than you would think on the surface. I'm doing 8 reps of axle press, clean and press every rep. It feels like I just sprinted a 400 meter. So just building back up that conditioning in the clean and press. Next, I did yoke. I don't know, yoke goes really well for me, and then I just hit a limit where I struggle. I don't want to say struggle, but there's a huge drop off at some point. And I think it's just the technique I have that I need to work on. Obviously, when it's really light, I'm able to just pick the yoke up and go. And as it gets heavier, my stance widens a little bit, and the way I take my steps is different. And I think I need to practice that technique for a heavier yoke while I'm doing lighter weight. And so that's what I've been working on. Well, that's what I'm gonna work on moving forward. This week I didn't do it. I'm just picking up and basically running with it. It's only 420 pounds, so it's not too bad. Next is stone to shoulder. Not entirely sure the weight of the stone. Some stones have weights printed on them and some don't. So I just try to judge the stone by picking up ones that are weighted, trying to figure out. I think this is around 175, 185 pounds. Not really having any issues with this. It's hard to tell, but it was raining and it wasn't raining hard. I think it was sprinkling at the point in when I was doing the set here. But the stone is completely wet, and every time I'm setting it down on the turf, the artificial turf, I guess, has mud underneath it, and the mud's coming up and covering the stone. So this is a little bit more difficult than it should have been because the stone was wet and I'm not using tacky or stone sleeves or tape or anything. So not too bad. I get a little bit of scrapes on my forearms. I don't know if you can tell here, just from the stone being wet and sliding out of my forearms a little bit during the rep, but it's not a big deal. They usually heal pretty quick. And I usually don't get them for a stone this light just because it was so wet and muddy out. Next, I do Dinnie stone hold, Dinnie ring holds. I don't know what they're called. I hate it. Never did. When I do deadlifts, I'm using straps. I never used hook grip on deadlift ever. And you have to hook grip the Dinnie rings, Dinnie stone rings. It's a little bit different than a normal hook grip. You're using the 2 middle fingers because it's a ring shape. You can't hook grip here because of the shape of the ring. And I've never done in regular hook grip, never done the Dinnie stone hook grip, and the weight is easy. I got to build up to the comp weight, but right here I'm doing 120 kilos for the heavy stone, the heavy ring, and 80 kilos for the light one. And the actual pick isn't difficult at this point, but just the grip isn't a problem either. It just hurts my thumbs, and it feels like my thumbnails ripping off of my finger, and I just hate it. I'm assuming I'm going to get adjusted to it, but I don't even really know how to warm up. Like, I'm thinking maybe I'm not warming my thumbs up enough to deal with the pain, because I just do one warm up set before and then jump into the programmed weight because it's so light. From a deadlifting pick perspective, I don't really need that much warm up for this weight, but maybe I need to do smaller jumps just to warm my thumb up from being smashed. But that might even be a problem too. Maybe doing that tears my thumb up more, so it hurts by the time I get to the heavy weight. I don't know. I'm gonna have to play around with it. I'm not close to the competition weight. I can't imagine what the competition weight feels like. What's crazy is the back weight, the 80 kilos on my left hand doesn't bother me. It's just that front hand, which is 120. I know that's a big jump in weight, but I wouldn't think it'd be that significant of a jump to make a difference to where my left thumb feels fine, but my right thumb feels like it's going to explode. I don't know. I'm sure I'll get used to it eventually. I use chalk. Well, I use liquid chalk, but that's it. Thought about using tape, but discussed it with my coach a bit, and he doesn't recommend it because the tape has a chance of slipping, especially on comp day. It's the last event. It's the last or second to last, but I think it's the last event. And I'm gonna have chalk on my hands from previous events. I'm gonna be sweating. So I don't know if putting tape on will be the best. So I just get used to it and try to improve my times each week. Try to just shut my brain off telling me that my thumbs are gonna explode. Anyways, that's the event day. I'm gonna put out a video tomorrow. Not entirely sure what the topic will be, but see you then.